not able to join. Okay, now this is the Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta, which you can find the reference in the Sutta Center. Do a search in the Majjhima Nikaya, Mula Panyasa is the second 50 under this one, all right? Then now here I actually translate with this one, Mandischen, but actually means bhikkhu. But bhikkhu actually not only refer to monks, but it's also refer to meditator because when Buddha give teaching, of course the monks are there, but there are also some other audience like lay people. Okay, because if we thought that it's to do with bhikkhu, so it's not to do with bhikkhu, it's to do with other people as well. Now we already see the first session is on the Kayanupassana, right? You can see on the top where they have the always this repeated sentence about Kaye Kayanupassana. Okay, Kaye Kayanupassi. All right. Here also got another one. Here is a Vedanasu Veda Vedanasu Vedanupassi. Now Vedanasu is actually is a locative plural, so means that it's not only one feeling, many feelings. So how does a monk or a meditator meditate observing feelings or observing the feeling in the feelings? Okay, so this is a plural. Now then follow with the Pali. Now the first feeling the meditator should know is Sukha Vedana, pleasant feeling. Now you all know the word Sukha. Okay, Sukha is always pleasant feeling. Dukkha is always painful feeling. So you got sukha and dukkha. So it's very easy to remember. So first feeling is sukha. Sukha feeling means any of the good feeling like you feel cool when the weather is hot or when the weather is cold, you have some warm blanket so you feel warm or anything that make your mind happy. So sukha. Dukkha is translated as painful. All right. So here is actually very general. It doesn't talk about is it a mental or is it body. So we take it as both, either mental or body. So dukkha here might refer to bodily painful feeling or mental feeling also. Normally mental feeling we call it domanassa. Another type of feeling we have is adukkha masuka. So from the Pali actually very obvious. Adukkha masuka. It has a double negative, means it's neither adukkha means not the not the painful. Asukha is not the pleasant. So it's neither pleasant nor unpleasant. So here sometimes we easy way we just use the word neutral feeling. Okay, so you have first feeling is sukha, dukkha, adukkha masuka, or pleasant feeling, painful feeling, or neutral feeling. Okay, so meditators should know. All right. So sukhang vedanang vedayami. So even though you see it's like you have to use the word I, okay? But as a meditator, even though you use the word I, but it doesn't mean that it's cling to the self or atta. It's just the way we say in an ordinary way. That's a feeling. But as a meditator, actually, when you contemplate, you should not contemplate, I feel a feeling. It's better contemplate, there is a feeling, it's better. Okay, because if you contemplate, I have the feeling, then you cling somehow at your mind is actually cling to the idea of self. So here they actually use it in a very worldly sense or how we express our feeling. I feel a painful feeling. I feel a neutral feeling. Okay, after that it go very detailed to this samisa sukha, right? Then another type of feeling is niramisa. Samisa, niramisa, sukha, sukha. All right, you can see the feeling here actually present feeling divided to one is samisa. Here it translated as fresh. And then the niramisa translated as not a fresh. So what it is? Okay. So you can see other sutta they use one is first is pleasant feeling, painful feeling, Third is neither pleasant nor painful. Okay. Now, the one with fresh one is talking about this one, pleasant worldly feeling. All right. So when you experience something to do with your sixth sense basis, so we call it pleasant worldly feeling. And if something that nothing to do with with your sense base, we call it a spiritual feeling. Like when you get a very deep concentration, so you have joy, you have good feeling. So this is called spiritual feeling. Okay. So we go back to this Satipaṭṭhāna. Right. So samisa refer to anything to do with the connect with our sense. Like maybe you eat ice cream, then you feel happy. So this is called samisa. And like I said just now, this one is a niramisa is a spiritual feeling. Here translated and not a fresh. Means that anything to do with deep more higher level of pleasant feeling, like you gain a deep concentration, you have jhana and so on. Okay. Now this one also another one. Now the dukkha feeling also divided to samisa and niramisa. Okay. Samisa is the worldly feeling and this is the uh, spiritual feeling. Okay, now you can see the translation. One is a painful feeling, another one is painful spiritual feeling. Now, painful feeling is very simple. So when you, for example, maybe you eat something, you don't like it, so you have a very simple painful feeling. So maybe this is to do more on spiritual side. Maybe you want to get deep concentration or you want to get very good progress in meditation, but you cannot get it. So you have the kind of disappointment feeling. All right, this is more on spiritual side. So always remember where is it the feeling? We call it samisa, niramisa. Okay. And then for neutral feeling also divided to two. Okay, samisa adukkha masuka and niramisa adukkha masuka. Okay. Then that's mean that the sukha dukkha adukkha masuka we are divided into two this one spiritual and worldly. All right. So after that, then after the Buddha finish this, then continue with the this is the same on vipassana point, okay? And so they meditate observing an aspect of feelings internally, externally, and both internally and externally. So here. So internal is ajata, okay? Bahida external. Internal refer to inside you, your mind matter. Bahida refer to other people mind matter, right? So after that, so this means that regardless of yourself or other people, any feeling you should uh, contemplate. And then after that, they meditate observing feelings as liable to originate. Means that try to see the cause of feeling and liable to vanish. So it will disappear if there's no cause. And they are liable to both originate and vanish. Right. So we can see Pali HBJ. Samudaya is we should see the origin. Vaya Dhamma means it will disappear. Okay. Mm. Okay, I need to change it to there's one way we can change it to dictionary here. This one, okay. Sure. Okay, I think line by line. Okay. Okay. All right. So here is actually this part is try to see internal externally. This part is trying to see how feeling will come due to causes. So we call origination. And because when there are no causes, then it will disappear. So it vanish. So in Pali, it's very easy, samudaya and vaya. All right. And then this is also vipassana point. All mindfulness is established that feelings exist to the extent necessary for knowledge and mindfulness. They make it independent, not grasping at anything in the world. All right. So they should practice mindfulness to the feel to the what's the meaning is establish the feeling exists. Okay. Atti vedana. Okay. Feeling exists. What's the meaning of feeling exists? Of course, we know the feeling exists, right? So everybody know that the feeling exists. Okay. Here is means that there are a few ways you can say that, like when you see this, you know it's just a feeling. It's not to do with my feeling or their feeling. Just know that it's just a phenomenon. It's just a dhamma. It's just a thing by itself. So your mindfulness should be established sati. All right. And also to the extent that you should start to develop jnana. Jnana means refer to vipassana knowledge, right? And patisati here refer to continuous mindfulness, or means that kind of like beside normal mindfulness, it should be more strong mindfulness. And also finally, they made it independent, right? Here means not not cling to anything in a way, means that they are not grasping to anything by wrong view or by craving. So that's mean that just see the feeling as a feeling. Okay. And then after that, ewan ko bikawe biku vedanasu vedanupasi viharati. So observing the feelings in the feeling. All right. So this is according to Pali. And then we still uh more on the some facts here. And of course, there's a direct translation here. You can see which is I think easier to understand. Okay. So it's already the first part like mentioned just now is different types of feeling. All right. Pleasant, unpleasant, neither pleasant nor unpleasant means a neutral feeling. Then to do with worldly feeling, spiritual feeling, and so on. Then this part is always vipassana. In the Kaya Nupasana, you also see this sentence. Okay, exactly same way. Here is just change to feeling. Here is how we should contemplate until our jnana knowledge and also wisdom will arise and not cling to anything detached, right? Not cling to anything in the world. The world here does not mean that the world outside is normally referred to our nama rupa. Okay, now when we finish, we are going to commentary here. So for commentary, I think you all can help me to read together. Uh, okay, so somebody will read here to here. Okay, maybe Thomas, you can start first. Here to here, all right?
Okay. The contemplation of feeling. The Blessed One, having in this way set forth the arousing of mindfulness through the 14-fold method of body contemplation, now said, and now, O bhikkhus, in order to expound the ninefold method of contemplation of feeling. There, the meaning of pleasant feeling, sukham vedanam, is as follows. The bhikkhu, when experiencing a bodily or mental pleasant feeling, knows, I experience a pleasant feeling. Certainly, while they experience a pleasant feeling in sucking the breast and on similar occasions, even infants lying on their backs know that they experience pleasure. But this meditator's knowledge is different. Knowledge of pleasure possessed by infants lying on their backs and other similar kinds of knowledge of pleasure do not cast out the belief in a being, do not root out the perception of a being, do not become a subject of meditation, and do not become the cultivation of the arousing of mindfulness. But the knowledge of this bhikkhu casts out the belief in a being, uproots the perception of a being, is a subject of meditation, and is the cultivation of the arousing of mindfulness. Indeed, the knowledge meant here is concerned with experience that is wisely understood through inquiry.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so at first he said that this one means that the Kayanupasana bodily contemplation already finished. Now about feeling. Now here is why is it we start with body? Because body is more gross and feeling is more subtle. Because body we can feel. When you touch your body, you can feel your body. So it's when you explain to people about the body, people can understand. That's why body is started, because it's easy for us to understand. And then after that, feeling also will be easier, because the next chapter, the next topic will be on chitta. Chitta consciousness will be more subtle. Feeling is very obvious, because when you have a good feeling, bad feeling, you will know. All right. Now the first feeling mentioned just now is pleasant feeling, sukha vedana. Here refer to I already mentioned, is on refer to both side, either bodily, all right, or we call it kaika, and then the cetasika, the mental pleasant feeling. So this means that when you have bodily good feeling, like you, it's hot weather, you switch on the aircon, okay, and then when you have a good news, so you also have a good feeling, right? Or you see good things, so you also have good feeling. Now here is trying to explain that yes, now we talking about contemplation of feeling. What about those very young infant? Because their knowledge is very weak. They are not matured at all. They also know they are experience the pleasure, good feeling. They know, but the difference is the meditator is different, because meditator will have more knowledge, and then like animals or infants, they they cannot root out. Root out means they cannot uh, terminate, all right, cannot uprooted the perception of beings, means that they still grasp the idea. Okay, I'm feeling a good feeling, I'm feeling this one, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. But a meditator should uh contemplate the feelings, and they'll be able to uproot the perception of beings. All right, beings means refer to atta, the theory of atta, cling to the idea of I. That's why in Abhidhamma, the first chapter you learn is a panyati concept. All right, so we should uproot the idea of this concept of I or being and so on. Okay, now, okay, now, okay, so you can see, right? Can make it a little bit small. Okay, next person. Uh, okay. Uh, maybe Sister Chong Pat Lan. You can read this one.
Just hang on now.
Can see or not?
Yeah. Is it from Who Feels?
Yes. Up to these two paragraph you can read. Yeah.
Okay. Who feels? No being or person. Whose is the feeling? Not of a being or person. Owing to what is there, the feeling? Feeling can arise with certain things, forms, sounds, smell, and so forth as objects. That bhikkhu knows, therefore, that there is mere experiencing of feeling after the objectifying of a particular pleasurable or painful physical basis, or of one of the indifference. There is no ego that experiences, because there is no doer or agent, katu, besides a bare process, dhamma. The word bare indicates that the process is impersonal. The words of the discourse I experience or feel form a conventional expression. Indeed, for that process of impersonal feeling, it should be understood that the bhikkhu knows that with the objectification of a property or basis, he experiences a feeling.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Now the thing is, now when we say the feeling, who experience it? All right. Is a not a being, not a person, but we need to know what's the cause of feeling. All right. The feeling will arise when they're with the object. What is the object? or this is our sense object, all right? Forms for eyes, sound for the ear, smell for the nose, and then the touch for the body and so on, right? So there should be mere experiencing of feeling after the objects or after the basis, all right? So feelings come after the object and also with the physical base like ear door, eye door, and so on. Okay. Now this sentence you will find in the Visuddhimagga, right? There's no doer, no agent. This means that we are here. Means that they are not a being or a person, not a being or person, but everything just happen. It's just a bare process. It's just a phenomena take place. It just a kind of like process happen by itself. So that's why the word bare indicates the process is impersonal. Impersonal means nothing to do with self or being. So like just now in the discourse, we can see I feel, I experience. All right. So when just now we see all the sutta, he has the idea like I experience, I feel, Why the sutta use the word I, even though just now say we should not use the word I. Everything is nothing to do with self or uh, a being or whatever. So the word I feel, I experience, this is a conventional, right? Okay, conventional expression. This means that when you speak to people, you need to use the word I see, I feel, and so on. Right? So we need to have a conventional expression. Okay. But the process should be impersonal, okay, about this impersonal feeling. Okay. All right. Now we read this story. Okay. All right, Amy, can you read this one? This part, Amy? Yes.
Just a moment. It is
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that it is said that an elder of Chitala Hill was sick, turning over from side to side again and again, and groaning with great pain. To him, a young bhikkhu said, Venerable sir, which part of your body is painful? Especially painful place. Indeed, there is not as a result of taking certain things such as form, sound, etc. For object, there is the experiencing of painful feelings, replied the elder. When reversal from the time one knows that is not bearing up befitting, said the young bhikkhus. I am bearing up. Friend, said the elder. Bearing up is excellent. Venerable sir, said the young bhikkhuni. The other bore up. Thereafter, the area of humor caused injury right up to the heart. His intestine protruded out and lay in a heap on the bed. The elder pointed out to the young bhikkhu and said, Friend, is bearing up so far befitting? The young bhikkhu remained silent. The elder, having applied concentration with energy, attained arahantship with analytical knowledge and passed away into the final peace of nibbana in the states of consciousness. Immediately after the course of reflection on the fruit of arahantship, thus realizing the highest and passing away nearly at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Amy. All
I
right,
think
so okay, thank you. So this part is talking about how this elder means a Thera who stay in this place. I think normally this story happened in either Sri Lanka or India last time. All right. So he was having a very strong, very, very strong pain. Then there was a young monk who was supposed to help him, and then he was asking a question, and then the monk, even though he was having a lot of strong pain, he be able to experience it, uh, the pain, but don't cling to it. He don't cling to the pain like my pain or whatever. So he just see it like what just now I say, okay? He just see everything as a bare process. Because he can meditate like this, meditate the feeling as a bare process. That's why even though the feeling is so strong until you can see uh the intestine protrude out means that it's like breaking out the body, but he still be able to bear it. And because of strong meditation on the feeling to see it's just a bare process. He meditated with concentration and energy and finally achieved the highest goal. There's a arahantship with analytical knowledge. This means that besides having the arahantship, he also have the patisambhida. There's one of the four types of highest knowledge, and soon pass away into nibbana. Okay, so that's how he can experience the feeling. So this is a very good way of contemplation. So if you feel that you are very afraid when you're going to pass away, you might have lots of very painful feelings. So maybe you can emulate his experience. So try to contemplate the feeling, even though it's very painful feeling. Don't cling to it. All right. So just see everything is just a process. It's just a process by itself. It's nothing to do with I and my. Even though in the sutta it will say I feel the feeling. Okay? All right. Okay, now this part. Okay, so also with the pleasant feeling, you also have the neither pleasant nor painful feeling, means that the upekkha feeling, neutral feeling. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay, now this is a question about people will ask, okay, now about feeling. Of course, when you feel the feeling, you also have like feel the body, then they feel the consciousness. So which one is more clear and which one you should contemplate? Okay. Now I think somebody can read this one. Okay, Sister Go, you can read this one.
Threefold, indeed, is the establishing in the mental subject of meditation, by way of sense impression, feeling, and mind. How? To some meditator, indeed, when the material subject of meditation is laid hold of, when there is the first impact of mind with mental characteristic on the object, or the first apprehension of that object, the sense impression that arises with the contacting of that object becomes clearer. To another, the feeling that arises with the experiencing of that object becomes clear. To yet another, the consciousness that arises with the knowing of that object becomes clear. When sense impression becomes clear, not only does sense impression arise, together with that sense impression arise feeling, perception, volition, and consciousness. When feeling becomes clear, the other four too arise. Also, when consciousness becomes clear, the other four arise. The bhikkhu,
Okay. Yeah, please. Yeah, continue. Yes.
the bhikkhu, on reflecting thus, dependent on what is this group of five things, knows as follows, dependent on the coarse corporeal base, vatu. That
Okay.
coarse body, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Now, this is talking about, of course, when you are noting the feeling, but the feeling will never arise. When you learn in Abhidhamma, there are five aggregates. So when feeling comes, so before the feeling, of course, you have the phassa. Like when you see the dependent origination, there's a phassa. Okay, there's a contact. Contact also will become clear. So when together with the contact phassa, a sense impression. So you will have, remember, five aggregates. You have the Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. All right. So this is talking about the four aggregates. So everything actually arises at one time. The contact, feeling, perception, volition, consciousness. So when we learn in Abhidhamma, so we learn the nama. Nama comes, chitta comes, then cetasika comes. So feeling is a cetasika, perception cetasika, volition is also cetasika, vijnana, consciousness is the nama. So everything actually come together. So when the feelings come, other aggregates also come, also become clear. So when this consciousness is one of the aggregates is clear, so other four aggregates also become clear. So that is beside this also talking about when the feelings come, you also have the body. So this part is talking about body. And here you can see in the commentary to explain some of the things about life for this one, okay? And this is a Mahabhuta and Upada Rupa. All right. So this is a you can see in the commentary, it actually talk about something about Abhidhamma on the Lupa, 28 Lupa. I think we can skip this one because this is more on the Lupa. Yeah. So here is actually more talking about 5 aggregates and about Namarupa. All right. So if you already study about 5 aggregates and Namarupa, I think this is will be easy to understand. Brother Ko, you can read this one.
In this connection are the 5 aggregates, because the body is the aggregate of materiality, and the mind, the 4 aggregates of non-material things. There is neither a fivefold aggregation separate from the mind and body, nor a mind and body separate from the fivefold aggregation. The bhikkhu who tries to find out what the cause of these 5 aggregates is seen that these are due to ignorance, etc. Henceforth, the bhikkhu lives with thorough knowledge, thinking that this thing, the fivefold aggregation, is only something conditioned and includes what is produced from conditioning. It is a congeries of bare formations, indeed of bare processes. He applies to it by way of mind and body that exist together with conditions, according to the gradual succession of insight-producing knowledge, the words impermanent, subject to suffering, and soulless.
Okay.
Soulless.
Okay. Okay. Now, when you read this one, what do you understand, Brother Ko? This part, yes.
The 5 aggregates come together. It
Okay.
doesn't, or it's not one or after another or what, but it comes together.
Okay.
And it is it is conditioned, it's conditioned, and it is conditions for its arising.
Okay, that's all.
And gradual succession of insight-producing knowledge towards impermanent, subject to suffering, soulless.
Okay.
Uh,
Why this one? Gradual succession.
Gradually, there will be some sort of realization that
Oh, okay. You're right.
uh,
Okay. Right. Okay. So here is talking about like already mentioned just now 5 aggregates. So first thing is talking about remember 5 aggregates. The body is the rupa khanda, and then the mind is other 4 aggregates. And here main thing is the feeling is actually part of these 5 aggregates. All right. So there's the 5 aggregates means namarupa. Namarupa means 5 aggregates. There are no separate things. That not to say there are 5 aggregates. There's other outside the 5 aggregates or outside namarupa. There are some other things. Everything is just namarupa or 5 aggregates. And the causes are ignorance. You remember when you studied dependent origination, ignorance, avijja is the first cause. Supposed to be first cause that cause the namarupa, right? And then here it's just talking about everything is just a bare process, So he should apply, by the way, means that he should see everything as namarupa, mind and body. Together, they exist with the conditions like the avijja, ignorance. And after that, until he can produce the insight, means that the insight knowledge will produce, for example, like impermanence, anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? Impermanence, suffering, non-self. Okay. I think this part is actually quite okay. Should be easy to read. All right. Okay, Gui Hua, Sister Vera. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Saji. After getting suitable weather conditions, a person of advantage to him spiritually, food that agrees with him, or fitting doctrinal instructions, the bhikkhu desirous of realization says, today, fit in one position, one posture, reaches the acme of insight and stands fast in the fruit of arahantship. For the three kinds of persons aforesaid, the subject of meditation up to arahantship is expounded in this way. Here, however, the Blessed One, speaking of the non-material or mental subject of meditation, speaks by way of feeling, while expounding by way of sense impression or consciousness, the subject of meditation does not become clear. It seems dark, but by way of feeling, it becomes clear. Why? Because of the clearness of the arising of feeling. Indeed, that arising of pleasant or painful feeling is clear. When pleasant feeling arises, spreading through and flowing over the whole body, making one to utter the words, ah, this joy, it is like causing one to eat fresh, clarified butter cooled in very cold water 100 times after being melted again and again. Also, 100 times, it is like causing one to be massaged with an emollient oil worth 100 pieces, and it is like causing one to be cool of a burning fever with 1,000 pots of cold water.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. All right. Now, when the Blessed One, the Buddha, he was thinking about meditation, he talked about on the mental side. Now he speak on feeling, right? There's a first way. Of course, he can also expounding by the phassa, the contact, or we call it sense impression here, or by the consciousness, right? Because feeling, contact, sense impression, and consciousness, they arise together, right? But if going through the contact, the sense impression or consciousness is not become clear, is a dark, but by the feeling is very clear. Why? Because the clearness, all right. So that's why through the feeling is very clear. Is for example like this, when something very comfortable, you can see like feel in the whole body. So the feeling is very clear. Okay. Right. And also this one. Okay. So this means that by through the feeling is much more clearer compared to by the sense impression, there's a phassa contact, or by the consciousness. Compared to these two, feeling is much more better because it seems to when it's strong feeling, it can like feel the whole body. And also this one. Okay. Okay, Sister Wong. You can do this one. Sister Wong.
Thank you, Sayaji.
Yes.
When painful feeling arises, spreading through and flowing over the whole body, making one to be wailed with the words, alas, what woe! It is like the applying on one of a heated plowshare. It is like the sprinkling upon one of molten copper, and it is comparable to the hurling into dry grass and trees in the forest of bundles of wood firebrands. Thus, the arising of pleasant or painful feeling becomes clear, but the arising of the neither pleasant nor painful feeling is dark and unclear. The neither pleasant nor painful feeling becomes clear to one who grasps it methodically, thinking, at the disappearance of pleasure and pain, the neutral, neither pleasant nor painful feeling occurs, which is contrary to the pleasant and the unpleasant. To what is it comparable? To a deer hunter following the hoof marks of a deer, which midway, having gone up a flat rock, is fleeing. The hunter, after seeing the hoof marks on the hither and thither side of the rock, without seeing any trace in the middle, knows by inference. Here the animal went up, and here it went down. In the middle, on the flat rock, possibly it went through this part.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you,
So,
Sati.
okay, thank you very much. All right. So first is on a pleasant feeling or painful feeling also can be clear. It's just like it's all the whole body. This refer to very strong feeling, of course, painful feeling. Then the next one will be we call it neutral feeling, but sometimes it's not clear. Okay, but normally this is not clear because like pleasant feeling is clear, yes, painful feeling is clear, but the feeling is in between. We call it the neutral feeling, or here is neither pleasant nor painful feeling. We call it neutral feeling or upekkha feeling. Normally it's not clear. But if we can think about it methodically, right? So when the pleasure and pain disappear means a good feeling or bad feeling disappear, then in between, we call it the neutral feeling. For example, this is a good example. A deer hunter, he follow a deer, right? The deer, he go up the flat rock. So he can see here got footprint, but in the middle, he cannot find the footprint. But he will see the another side got the footprint. Then he will say in the middle, it may be possible the deer go through the middle on the flat rock, because on the rock, there's no footprint at all. Okay, so through this kind of methodically means a systematic way, he knows that in between the good feeling, bad feeling, there's a neutral feeling, or in between the pleasant feeling or painful feeling, there's this, we call it neither pleasant nor painful feeling, the upekkha feeling. Right? Right? So in this manner, the Blessed One, having expounded at first the form subject of meditation, later pointed out the formless subject of meditation. Formless means nothing to do with the body. So by the way of feeling. So this is the first one. Remember we talked about 5 aggregates. Feeling is one of the distinct aggregate because feeling play a major part in meditation and it's very clear. Okay. And also here it called many suttas. Okay, I think now, okay, we will read this one. I think later we will stop for half an hour meditation together. Then we will share the merits. Okay, Pueliu, you can read this one.
Okay. Pleasant worldly feelings refers to the 6 joyful feelings connected with the 6 sense doors and dependent on that which is tainted by defilements. Pleasant spiritual feeling refers to the 6 joyful feelings connected with the 6 sense doors and not dependent on sense desire. Painful worldly feeling refers to the 6 feelings of grief connected with the 6 sense doors and dependent on that which is tainted by defilements. Painful spiritual feeling refers to the 6 feelings of grief connected with the 6 sense doors and not dependent on sense desire. Worldly, neither pleasant nor painful feeling refers to the 6 feelings of indifference connected with the 6 sense doors and dependent on that which is tainted by defilements. Spiritual, neither pleasant nor painful feeling refers to the 6 feelings of indifference connected with the 6 sense doors and not dependent on sense desire. The
Okay.
division into thank you.
Okay, I think no need this one. Okay. Now this one is very easy. Okay. Any worldly feeling is anything you see on your 6 sense door, like you see ice cream, you see a bird, you see a flowers, you hear a pleasant sound, a sweet music, But this is tainted by defilements, because that means that when you see good things, your mind have desire for it. All right. So this called painful, joyful. And then this one is opposite way. When you see something that you don't like, or you hear a very strong, sharp, sharp sound, or bad smell, to do with our sixth sense though, or you eat something, and when you are having the painful feeling, normally the mind will have a hatred, okay, not anger and so on. Right. Now, what is spiritual feeling? Is we call it even though it's actually sixth sense though, but here it's not dependent on the sense desire. This means that, like just now I say, when you have a good achievement in meditation, all right, or when you see on the Buddha statue, so it's more on the spiritual feeling, more on the, we call it much more sublime feeling compared to the worldly feeling. Okay, so this one normally refer to like maybe you didn't get a good result in meditation, or you feel disappointed by your own progress and so on. Painful spiritual feeling. Nothing to do with the sense desire. All right. And this is also when the feeling is become neutral feeling. Okay. Now this part will be same about ajata and samudaya. Okay, after we finish this one, all right. Rushan, you want to join us? Yes.
Ajatam, internally, the bhikkhu dwells contemplating feelings in the feeling are his own by laying hold of the pleasant, painful, or neither pleasant nor painful feeling. Or he dwells contemplating feelings in the feelings of others by laying hold of the pleasant, painful, or neither pleasant nor painful feelings in the way told above. Or at the time he contemplates his own feelings, and at another time another's. Samudaya Dhammanupassi, contemplating origination things. In this contemplation of feelings, the bhikkhu dwells seeing the origination and dissolution of the aggregate of feeling, or seeing the origination of feeling at one time and the dissolution of feeling at another time, by way of ignorance, craving, and so forth, in the 5 ways mentioned in the section on the modes of deportment.
Okay. So this is a stock phrase where you repeat on vipassana point. Okay, ajata means you contemplate internally, which is your own feeling. Externally means the feeling of others. All right, but we should not see the people's feeling all the time. First, you should be contemplate your own feelings here. Okay, any good or bad or neutral, pleasant, painful, or neither pleasant nor painful feeling. Then you try to see how the feeling comes. All right, the feeling comes already mentioned due to the contact. All right, contact between sense base and sense object. And dissolution means that when there's no there's no contact between sense base and sense object, right? Then it's dissolution. And how is due to the ignorance craving. If you study dependent origination, you notice that in dependent origination, we say ignorance is a past cause, craving is a present cause, like this. So that's why when we study Abhidhamma, you can apply your Abhidhamma knowledge here. Okay. All right. And this is the mindfulness that lay hold feeling is the truth of suffering, right? So here is linked with the Four Noble Truth. Because truth or suffering refer to the 5 aggregates. That's the first noble truth. Okay, next week we will do the consciousness. So what we do now we already spent about 50 minutes. So we will do our own practice. You can contemplate the feeling or any kayanupassana, any bodily feeling, either 4 great elements or anything. All right. So we'll meditate. Later we'll do sharing memories. Okay, we can start now. Good memories. By the good memories of listening to Dhamma, about Vipassana, about Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta. We like to share our merits with all sentient beings and with the deities and devas. So please follow me. I will share the screen. Today I will use the Tushita book, right? So, okay. Put the hand together. Etawata ja amhehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe dewa anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Etawata ja amhehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe buddha anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Etawata ja amhehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. We share merits with our departed one. Idam me yatinam hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me yatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam me yatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Okay, so we make aspiration. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo satam samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. By these meritorious deeds, acts of listening to Dhamma and practice meditation, may I never meet with the foolish people. May I only meet with a wise person until I attain Nibbana. Idam me punyam asawakayam waham hotu. Idam me punyam nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May this merit of mine be conducive to the destruction of the taints. May this merit of mine be a supportive condition for the realization of Nibbana. Mama punya bagam sapa satanam bhajemi. Te sabe me sabmam punya bagam labantu. I share my merits done today with all beings. May all those beings get an equal share of the merits shared by me. Okay, we finish by saying Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titatu. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titatu. May the teaching of the Buddha last long in the world. Okay, thank you for joining this session. So every Sunday will be on meditation. So we will continue study Pali on Wednesday and Abhidhamma on Friday. Okay, thank you very much. All right, see you next time. All right.
Thank you, Saji. Take care.
Thank you.